faith, belief in action. Randy Ollis is finding people who are guided by their faith from all religions, denominations, and walks of life, and sharing their stories with you. From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is Finding Faith, brought to you by Northview Church.
All right, her faith was tested, but ultimately here, it's what helped save her life. American Idol star Mikenley Brown has returned to our studios with her dad, Mike, to share a personal struggle and how her faith helped her get through it. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
Mikenley and Mike here.
Thank you.
You know, before you're on, you talked about being an American Idol star. Just real quick, just tell us about that. What was that like to appear on that show?
Being on American Idol was, it's always been one of my dreams, to do music and sing, and it's kind of always been our life. I grew up on my church worship team, and my great-grandpa was kind of had his own band around town and was a musician and played with Loretta Lynn and Dottie West and
big time
Conway Twitty, and so he had 13 kids, so he kind of had I have a really big family.
I guess so. Well.
He had to give up his musical dream for his kids, so
You kind of picked it up then.
I did. I kind of picked it up, and I do a lot of this in remembrance of him and kind of for him, and I know he'd be proud of me. And
sure.
But American Idol was just, it was a dream come true, and there's Zoom auditions before the actual auditions that you see on TV, and so I don't know, I never really thought I was going to make it, and it was kind of like, oh, sure, I'll try it. And then I actually made it, and it was like, wow, I'm really in this.
So we're doing a Finding Faith segment. How did your faith get you through American Idol? How did that help you out?
I believe a lot of my confidence comes in knowing that the Lord made me who I am for a reason. And so, I mean, I got eliminated, top 48. And I mean, for a lot of people, I feel like that kind of brings you down. And I mean, it was somewhat sad for me, but sure. I think it almost like put a little pep in my step and like pushed me forward a little bit. And I just know that this is God's plan for me, and music is my life and what I'm supposed to be doing and reaching people with my story. Mm-hmm. And so I think that I know that God plays a really big part in this.
He definitely opened the doors, and
yes, he does.
It's your job to walk through.
Yeah. So whenever I always pray, I say, Lord, you can open the door, but you can close the door too, whatever your will is. So were you able to share your faith while on American Idol?
Yeah, I was.
Yes.
Sharing my story on American Idol was my first time actually sharing my story. So, and it was something that I was a little hesitant about sharing because I feel like not a lot of people talk about anorexia. But when I was on the show, having cameras shoved in my face was the first time I shared my story.
Good for you.
So, yeah.
A little nerve-wracking up there?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but he gave you the strength and the courage to get through it.
100%.
Yeah, let's talk about, we have about 2 minutes left here, about your eating disorder.
Yeah.
What happened there?
So growing up, I kind of always knew who I was, had a really different sense of style, and I've just always kind of been a little outside of the box. And in middle school, I mean, I feel like that's kind of the age where a lot of people are finding themselves and kind of growing, and I got to a point where I was being like made fun of for what I wore and what I look like. Some bullying for sure. And it really took a toll on me and the way,
what you believe.
and what I believed, and that like I was made fun of for that, and so it really took a toll on me, and like I just kind of started believing lies from other people and that I was telling myself, and I got really carried away, and I negatively coped by not eating, and I ended up in and out of hospitals a lot. And I mean, a doctor finally looked at me and told me that if I didn't eat, then I was going to die, and very soon. So I mean, when somebody tells you that to your face, it's
a wake-up call.
It's definitely a wake-up call, and it was like an immediate click in my head, and the only way to explain it genuinely is a miracle, and the only way that I am here is because of God, and I just had a bigger purpose than what I was making it.
Yeah, Dad, what was your response to this when you found out she was going through this eating disorder, anorexia?
So yeah, as a parent, we had to Me and Ashley had to really work together, pray, and ask the Lord, how do we deal with this now? Because it's once you admit and find out what's going on, then you start to work together. And God's been gracious enough to me and my wife through our screw-ups. So as you as you find that out and it's your own kid, you're like, okay, how do we partner with what God wants to do and bring healing and health to your kid and your family? And it's not so much about asking God, why me?
Right.
It's about, all right, God, now what?
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
And then you move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're running out of time. I mean, I could go another 5 minutes here, but just briefly, what would you tell others out there who are suffering from maybe an eating disorder or something else?
I think my biggest encouragement and through all of this and what I've learned is genuinely just be yourself and be who you are created to be. Because when I wasn't myself and I was trying to be someone else, I was at a really low point in life. It doesn't work, and there's definitely a difference between fitting in with people and belonging somewhere. And I've really just found where I belonged by being myself. So.
You guys look great. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
For being so transparent on
Of
this
course.
show. I'm a father, 4 daughters, so I get a little teary-eyed here too. I really do. So thank you again. I'm Randy Ollis. Thanks for joining me in the Finding Faith podcast. Join me again next time as I share more stories of people who are guided by their faith. If this podcast has touched you, I hope you'll share it with a friend. If you have a story you want to share, go to lifestylelive.tv and click on the contact button.
This is Finding Faith with Randy Ollis. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast, and be sure to check out other great podcasts on the All Indiana Podcast Network online at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.